Hello Stampers, this is Cynthia Larison, Paper Moonbeam, an independence demonstrator with Stampin' Up. It is Saturday, March 6th, 2021. There are only 4 days remaining to place your order for the next edition of Paper Pumpkin, the all-inclusive box of paper crafting and card making enjoyment. For only $22 plus tax, shipping and handling, this fun-filled box will be delivered to your door. Whether you choose a monthly option or a one-time purchase, everything you need will arrive to complete an assortment of cards and other paper crafting projects. The adventure begins and will begin shipping after March 10th, so don't miss your chance to craft the next paper pumpkin with me. Get yours today by shopping at my store, cynthialarison.stampinup.net. And don't forget, any orders under $150, use the host code. This is the new March host code, NSJXAMMC. Had a couple of other things that I wanted to talk to you about real quickly before we get started today, and one of those would be some of the questions that I've been getting about the new basic white paper products. Since these are not in the catalog, as some of you have been told, the former company that produced the white papers for Stampin' Up went out of business, sadly, due to COVID. The new basic white products with Stampin' Up are listed on my store, cynthialarison.stampinup.net, and will be underneath the heading Basic White Products. So you can go there and you'll see a page something like this, and it will have each one of the order numbers. The basic white cardstock 8.5 by 11 is 159276. That's the one that we most often get. But also there's the thick basic white cardstock, the basic white 12 by 12 cardstock that many of us use for scrapbooking, the assorted Memories and More cards and envelopes, then of course the white medium envelopes, the white note cards and envelopes, and the basic white 3 by 3 envelopes. So if you have any questions about this, go to my store at cynthialarison.stampinup.net. You'll see my phone number, and just give me a ring, leave a message for me, and I'll get right back to you. On the 2nd of March, the newest selection, the Butterfly Bouquet, was introduced. Now this is not yet in the catalog. This is coming out in the new catalog, but it is called Butterfly Bouquet, and as you can tell, it's going to be a lot of fun to do projects for spring and summer. The Butterfly Brilliance bundle includes both the stamp set and the dies. There are also Designer Series papers, Natural Touch specialty paper, and then you can get the entire Butterfly Brilliance collection that would include all 4 of these items. Now, let me just go over this very quickly. This is going to be under the newest items when you open up my store at cynthialarison.stampinup.net. But here is the cling stamp set called Butterfly Brilliance, and cling means it's rubber, and as you can see, this stamp set is all one piece. This is something that we don't have too often, but as you can see, it's one big stamp. So when you put this on your paper and stamp it, you're going to get all 6 of these beautiful butterflies stamped at one time. But there's more, because the Stampin' Cut embossed dies, which are called Brilliant Wings, plural, dies, has both cutouts for the butterflies, which make a lacy, delicate cutout, and then also the one big die that fits right over the stamped issue. It'll stamp everything at one time. This is going to really offer a lot of different design possibilities. You can use these to cut these separately. You can cut them out, or you can leave them all for a one-page display. Lots of different things will be done. And then of course there are some incidental stamps. There's a little piece that looks kind of like brickwork. There's kind of some cross hatching, which makes a real nice design effect. There's the outline of two small butterflies, and then this kind of an accent which I guess could be the little when the butterfly lays the eggs before they begin to become chrysalis. And so I don't know, this set is really different. I was kind of excited about it when I saw it. I have made what is a template, so if you decide you only want to do one stamp, you can ink up the stamp and you can position it over here and stamp it down, and then just get one stamp, and of course cut it out with your dies as you will. But this is the stamp set that we're going to use today in a little bit different manner, because I've kind of been thinking about spring. I've been thinking about the new catalog that is going to be coming out very soon. We've got the annual catalog, which is right now 2020-2021, which will expire and go away late in May, early part of June. And so we've still got some time to order from this, but I'm thinking about things that I have in my collection of stamps and papers and that sort of thing. And so I want to use this new Butterfly Brilliance collection in an unusual way. Of course, our mini catalog, January through June, is still available for us to order out of. And don't forget all the wonderful things that we talked about the last time, that many of which are a lot of spring and summer items. It'll go away very soon too. So I've been thinking about the Butterfly Brilliance and how we can use this effectively with some of the things that are going to very soon retire. The retiring products are going to come out. You'll see them in my store on March 24th. They will be listed by Stampin' Up. At that time, you will get to see the products that will be retiring and will not be in the new catalog. So let's just go in here, talk about this. The Butterfly Brilliance paper that I told you, it's called Butterfly Bijou, and it's a little different this time. It's a 6x6 stack of paper that has 8 sheets of each design. So there's a lot that you can do with that. And on the other side, you see, as most of these papers, one side is more design, an abstract, and the other side is more in line with the whole idea of what the subject matter is. Another really nice thing is that this particular piece of paper can be used with the big die, and that's one reason they've given us 8 stamps, or I'm sorry, 8 pieces of this designer series paper, because look at this. You can place this over your paper and you can cut this out. So you're going to have not only stamped items that you can die cut, but also this paper. And there are 8 sheets of this large paper. Now, if some of you are really interested in this, I recommend that you buy not 1 packet of this, but 2, because this one will not carry over too long either. The next thing in this Butterfly Brilliance complete set is what I originally told you, the designer specialty paper. It's 12 by 12. You get 2 of these sheets. I don't know if you can see. These are kind of textured. It's a wood grain finish. I don't think you can see it very well on this, underneath this light. Maybe if I bring it up a little bit more, you can see the design. Can you see the texture? It looks kind of wooden. And you get 2 sheets of this in this specialty paper. So this is the set that you get when you purchase the entire suite. You get the stamps, you get the dies, which you're going to have many dies. And then of course, you're going to get the colors that go with this in your cardstock are Basic Black, Bermuda Bay, Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Mango Melody, Mint Macaron, Misty Moonlight, Poppy Parade, So Saffron, and of course our new Basic White. This says Whisper White. This was printed and distributed to the company before the company that produced our Whisper White went out of business. So now the new whites are called Basics. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my idea. And of course, I was sad to see the Celebration catalog leave the end of February, and with that, many of the beautiful designer papers that we had. But I'm also thinking about all of the paper pumpkin kits that still have pieces and parts remaining from the projects that I've done, and I thought, how can I use these and get rid of a lot of this stuff and start with a clean slate for spring and summer, because not only are we going to have new items that we can start using, which were purchased with the January through June catalog, but we've also got the new catalog, the new annual catalog, coming up as well. And so I thought, well, what can we do that will kind of get rid of some of those things? And I began to develop, I went through my paper pumpkin boxes and took a look at some of the things that I had still not completed, or a few pieces left over, because there's a lot in the paper pumpkin boxes each month. that you can make and still have a lot of supplies left over. And the first thing that I uncovered, this was the free box of paper pumpkin that I got when I started with Stampin' Up, because when you become a Stampin' Up demonstrator or a discount shopper, you always get in your startup kit a free paper pumpkin. So I got the February 2020 free paper pumpkin, the title being Lovely Day. And so I thought, I'm going to use up the rest. So that's kind of what this entire video is going to be, using up the rest of the things that we have. I challenge you to do the same thing. So I began to think about this, and I came up with a card using paper from Lovely Day, coordinating colors, Pretty Peacock, which happens to be one of the in colors that will retire very soon, Pool Party, and Basic White. Of course, my card base was 8.5 by 5.5. The Pretty Peacock Designer Series paper, 5.25 by 4. The Pool Party designer paper that I used, 5.5 by 4.25, and I used Sentiments, Dies, and Embellishments from stamps, the Happy Thoughts stamp set, and then also the Stitched Shapes dies. This is one of the die sets that is very popular. It has ovals and circles and rectangles, or squares. These are squares, all with this nice stitched design on them. So I took these items that I thought, gosh, I need to use these. What if Stitched Shapes is going to be retired? And I thought, gosh, I want to use some of these up. So I had the card base from the paper pumpkin February 2020 that looked like this, and beautiful, both Pretty Peacock and Pool Party. You can see the diagonal stripes, little pin stripes, and I used the brand new butterfly, and this is the die that I showed you that cuts the intricate lacy butterfly. I used the oval stitched shapes, and I used this is the, I think it's called Pool Party sheer ribbon. You can see how beautiful that is. I used it down here at the bottom, and I tied a loose knot. Just simple, very simple. I used 3 embellishments on here, and they're just the basic rhinestone jewels that come in the annual catalog. At the top, I made a piece of the Pool Party cardstock to cover the entire top of this, to facilitate covering how I put this ribbon on so that it wouldn't show. And then I used Pretty Peacock down here, cut another smaller stitched oval, and stitched Happy Birthday. The card has great envelopes. They're kind of diagonal. You enter them like this. And then I used, with the Happy Thoughts special delivery in the corner. So this is how I utilized the last piece of cardstock that I had from February 2020 paper pumpkin, and I think it turned out really well. And I gave it a fresh new look because I'm using the brand new stamp set that's just out in March. So then the next thing that that I did, I looked through my paper pumpkins and I thought, oh gosh, what else do I have? Lo and behold, I still had some things left from December paper pumpkin, and it was the Barely Comforting. Some of you may remember had that cute little bear that had a lot of get well messages or encouragements, and I thought, well, I'm going to use up the rest. The coordinating colors were Rich Razzleberry, Soft Seafoam, Basic White, and Gold Foil. I used cardstock from the paper pumpkin. This is what is always supplied, and the main color on that is the Rich Razzleberry. Do you remember this one? So what I did for this one is it comes scored and already 8.5 by 5.5. The inside cardstock that I used was just cardstock that I have in my stash, Rich Razzleberry. You can see it right here peeking behind this white cardstock. I thought that gave it a really nice, crisp look, finished look. I cut it 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I used the Basic White, which was 3 3/4 by 5, and then the sentiments and the dies that I used was the Best Year cling stamps and the So Sentimental cling stamps. Now I used on the inside, wishing you much happiness today and always, and I did that by using the Rich Razzleberry ink pad. This is just another little scrap that was in the box that matched this. Of course, I used some more of those little lacy butterflies, and I cut them out of gold foil to coordinate with the gold foil leaves that were already on this cardstock. The Happy Birthday was Happy Birthday to You is from Best Year. I think this is a great stamp set. It has a lot of really great sentiments in nice, easy to read fonts. So that was my second. And then of course, I just typed in here, or stamped in here, Time to Celebrate. And that one came, where did that one come from? Time to Celebrate. Maybe I got that off of something else. I may have gotten this from another stamp set. I just went through my stuff and thought, you know, I'm going to use this stuff because I want to be able to, first of all, utilize all of the products that we are given and, you know, give it a fresh look. These butterflies are going to be great. This is very basic. So those were the two use up the rest projects that I made. So then I thought, okay, what can I do that is going to give me a fresh look using yet another piece of cardstock that is going to expire soon, or retire, as they say. And so I thought that we would make a card today using not only the Butterfly Bouquet project, using the Butterfly Brilliance cling stamp sets, the Brilliant Wings die set, and the color palette of Pretty Peacock, Basic White, and the Natural Touch specialty paper. So I cut a piece of cardstock. Now let me get this out here. I'll get all the supplies out. I cut a piece of cardstock that I can use this like a tent card in 11 inches by 4.5 inches across. and it is in the Pretty Peacock cardstock that is going to soon retire, 2019 to 2021. And then on the inside, I always put a different base on the inside of my card, basic white, 5 1/4 by 4. And then I also, on the outside, I decided I was going to use some of that Natural Touch specialty paper. So I cut a piece of that at 4 1/8 by 5 6/8. But I did something else. I punched it, or I die cut this with the stitched rectangle dies, because I thought, wow, this paper is so beautiful, and I don't want to just cover it all up and not be able to use it again. So here's the way this is going to be. I'm going to put it on my card this way, and then I'm going to put another layer over the top of this, and it will still give a nice peek of the Pretty Peacock, and you'll be able to see the beautiful designer series paper, and I'll have another little piece to use for another project. We'll be seeing that one. So on the top, for the outside of the card, I used another scrap of basic white in 5 1/4 by 4, and so this one I put right here, but I stitched it with the I die cut it with the stitched rectangle die, and with the new stitched with Whimsey dies that's in our new catalog, the spring catalog. And I think I used this size. This kind of, and this just does a little bit of like perforation around the edge. I thought this reminded me of the fluttering of the butterfly, so I wanted that right there. And then of course I used a sentiment from Posted for You, and that is, let's see, Posted for You, where is that? The Posted for You cling stamp set says, "Sending love your way." So this is the way it's going to be, like this. So I'm just thinking that I'm going to use up some things that I have and add some fresh things to it and make this a one-of-a-kind set. On the inside of this card, I'm going to have a white card that we're going to put the inside sentiment in. But let's go ahead and put this together real quickly. And if you remember, I like to use the green glue, or the Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. The order number is 11075 in my store, cynthialarison.stampinup.net. This is this is one of the best glues that I've ever used. I find that it does a great job, but remember I told you I always keep this in a little jar, a little tiny bottle that has a tiny little nozzle, because you don't need a lot. So I'm going to put this one, and when you are going to crease your card down, you always want to use the raised portion on the inside and crease it down like this. So in a minute, when I get this positioned, we will do that. I kind of like the colors on this. And then Sending Love Your Way. The next, you see that little piece of gold gilding that was from one of the dies that I cut. They do get everywhere. Positioning that over the top of this. Now, you're seeing the new Designer Series Natural Touch paper. Nobody ever knows the center of this was cut out, and I'll be able to use this again later. That is, in my opinion, cost effective. So there we have that. And then you're going to take the bone folder and just burnish this down, crease this down on both sides, and that'll make your card lay down nicely, but it'll also be able to stand up very sturdy. So the next thing, I thought, okay, so what am I going to do here that's going to be a little different? And I thought I would get some of the butterflies that I have stamped with the large stamp square, and it made 6 of them, so I have some left over. I don't know if you can see when I put this up, it almost has a watercolor effect on the inside. It's really beautiful. You can do something with this. You can use your different inks and color in, but I thought this was just beautiful the way it is. So I was thinking maybe something like this, again, using up the color that is going to retire, maybe like this. So I think I'll put this one, I think I'll put this large one down flat, and then I'll put the small one up on dimensionals. I kind of looked at that earlier today and couldn't exactly figure what I might do, but kind of stands alone. And now let's use some dimensionals here and get these put down on this top one. Use plenty of these. And yeah, that looks good. I like that. So that pretty well stands alone, sending love your way. On the inside, for the sentiment, I thought we would use the large stamp from Happiest of Birthdays, that says wishing you the happiest of birthdays. This is a large cling stamp. Cling means a rubber stamp, not the photo palmer. So when you have a rubber stamp and you're using, I'm using the Stamparatus, you don't need the rubber inset, which we are given. It's kind of a foam inset that you put in here when you're using your photo palmer stamps to give it a little bounce and a little cushion. But there's already, you can see, there's a cushion of foam between the label and the actual rubber that gives it some spring when you stamp, so you don't need that. So we are going to put, if I can find my card base. I did have the card base here a second ago. there it is. Here's the card base, and I've already positioned it before off camera so that it's going to go down like this. Remember, the magnets are stored on the bottom, and they're stored separately because you want to keep them apart. They can be a little bit dangerous if you don't. Now, another thing about using the Stamparatus, it always allows you to stamp a little bit better if you put the thickness of a stamp box right underneath it, and that way, you know, you'll be able to press your ink on, and then it goes on a lot better. I think this will be better down here. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to use the soon-to-retire Pretty Peacock water-based dye ink. And so we're going to open this up. And ink up the stamp. I've used this sentiment several times on birthday cards that I've been making, and I really like it a lot. Nice thing about using the Stamparatus, especially with a large stamp like this, not being able to just press it down evenly all with one hand, you can stamp it twice if you need, and I see a couple of places here that really can use a little bit more ink. So let's do it like this and see what happens. Yeah, that's much better. There you go. There is the inside insert for my card. Let me put this to the side so that I can clean that stamp off in just a little bit. So the inside with the sentiment is going to go in like this. And just a few dots all around the card. I actually don't need this much. You can put a few dots at the top and pretty much be done with it if you didn't want a lot of ink. And then of course you could certainly use our new stamp and seal. I think I have done the wrong thing, and I have. I put this on upside down. Well, that is where we're able to fix this with another piece of cardstock, which is just exactly what I will do. This is going to give you an opportunity here to write your name, but I will put, just as I did on the other card that I made, now I cannot see it now where I put that. I will put another piece of cardstock here to cover it up, and there we go, sending you love your way. So that, oh, and I've got ink on this. I don't know where that ink came from, but let's see if I can remove that quickly. I might be able to remove it. That is live television. or live YouTube, as we say. And I believe what I will do is get some alcohol and remove that in just a little bit. But you can see the new Butterfly Brilliance design, the new designer paper, because I've got this ink all over me, as you can see. How I did that, I don't know. But these are the cards that we've got that really showcase the butterflies. I'll cover that up. That might be nice. And then the other card, all using the beautiful butterflies, and two of these cards using the wonderful pretty peacock that is going to be going away in just a little while. Well, I do want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for your kind attention, and I did not put the Opal Rounds on here either. Let me do that. These are the new Opal Rounds that just came out, and I rather got distracted when I got that ink all over me. Let's see if I can do this without getting any more ink anywhere else. Let's put one here. Now, I don't know if you can see or not, but these Opal Rounds really have a great brilliance to them. They pick up colors from the things that they're near. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get this out with some alcohol. So there we have it. 3 cards using the new Butterfly Brilliance stamp set and the Brilliant Wings dies, just out a couple days ago. Go to my store, CynthiaLarrisonStampin'Up.net, and grab a hold of this. This is going to be a lot of fun. We will do some other things. I have seen already on YouTube some wonderful projects that other demonstrators have done. These butterflies are just beautiful, and this one particularly would make a very nice monarch. So again, thank you for watching tonight. I appreciate you all, and I would love to have you join Stampin' Up! And become part of my team with Paper Moonbeam. I have one more thing to just show you, and that is over here, how you can join the creativity for $99. Tax, no shipping and handling. You can become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and become a part of my team. If you don't want to do that, you may become a discount shopper and still be on my team, Paper Moonbeam. You get discounts on everything that you buy. You get commissions on everything that you sell. And it's a flexible and fun thing to do. Most of you who are watching already purchase things. You might as well get a discount to do so and share it with others. Your starter kit will allow you to get $125 worth of products. That could be the Butterfly Brilliance. You could get the Poster for You. Of course, you're going to get a free paper pumpkin in your first order with your Stampin' Up! Beginner kit. And join with me, CynthiaLarison.stampinup.net. And don't forget to use the host code NSJXAMMC. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.